David Cordova was born and raised in Los Angeles, a setting that informs much of his work. He has been writing for over 25 years and has studied with such notables as Jack Grapes and Bella Mahia Carter. He lives in Pasadena, where he awaits either the collapse of civilization or the next phase in the evolution of human consciousness, whichever comes first. I think you'll find in David's writing some wonderfully specific details. He goes deep, sometimes goes gritty, and is sometimes dangerous, and that's one of the things I love about him. David Cordova.
Well, thank you all for coming out this evening and being part of this event. I'm going to be reading a few pieces, and all these pieces came about through writing exercises right here in class, working with my classmates and with Bella. And as such, they all come from prompts. The first few words, the first line, is a prompt from another writer's work, and I will be giving that writer credit at the beginning of each piece. The first piece I'm going to read is entitled Boots, and it comes from some of the prompt from Molly Peacock. The fantasies that rose from my young mind were like wisps of smoke after a blown-out match. My memories are incomplete snippets, quick snapshots of images that seem to center around a large tent with bleachers set up inside, all filled row after row with men. Where is this place? Who are these people? My memory tells me I am very young and that I am in Mexico on one of those rare trips down south that I took as a very young child. Is it Tijuana or Mexico City? It is simply a tent filled with men watching a movie I don't fully comprehend because it is in Spanish. On the screen is a Sinbad-type character with flowing white shirt tucked into pants that are way too tight. There is a turban and a dark mustache to complete the picture. But what I really notice is the man's boots. These tall, black leather boots that wrap around his thick-muscled legs and stop below his knees. The man is larger than life, heroic, masculine, sexual. I can feel his sexuality coming off the screen. Is this a porno? I can't remember. Who brought me here? I don't know. I feel some strange arousal, but I don't comprehend this as such because I should be too young to know such things as arousal and attraction. But there is something about those man's boots that fixates my mind. There is some unknown force seating itself in my impressionable little child's mind. Years later, a girlfriend asked me what I wanted for my birthday. We ended up going shopping for her because what I wanted was for her to buy a pair of boots. We looked around and I spied these beautiful, sleek, black, thigh-high boots with spiked heels. She tried them on. As she slipped them up past her calves and fit her foot snugly inside and pulled them up past her thighs, it all came rushing back. That image of those tall, black boots that the Sinbad character had worn. Seeing my girlfriend slip those thigh-high boots on triggered an instant arousal, a deep tingling in my memories of forgotten sexuality. Since then, I catch myself noticing when women are wearing boots. Any kind of boots, tall, short, leather, spiky, black, brown. It doesn't matter, really. Something about them is tied inextricably to some primal sexuality within me. Though I wouldn't call it an obsession. I'm not obsessed with women's boots. I'm simply aware of women's boots. It's not as if I can't function sexually if a woman isn't wearing boots, but I do admit that it helps to get me in the mood. If I'm ever not up to it, just slip on a pair of boots and see how quickly I can be persuaded otherwise. It makes me wonder what happened in that tent. How have boots become so interwoven with sex and attraction? But like a wisp of smoke, the memory hangs in the air and then is gone. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. This next piece is called $20 Bill, and it comes from a prompt from Kim Adonisio. I show up like money on the sidewalk, like a really good score, a $20 bill hanging forlornly on the edge of some gutter, just barely avoiding being sucked down into oblivion. The kind of surprise a person doesn't mind unwrapping from the bits of gnarled debris and slimy sludge that collects on the grate before the dark slit in the concrete that whispers of even darker, more sinister places awaiting below. Fuck it. I could just wash off the smell of urine and excrement and garbage. For God's sake, it's a $20 bill. That's how I am. There's a lot of shit to clean off, but underneath, holy shit, I'm a $20 bill. I'm cash money, baby. Yeah, sometimes you'll find me hanging in the gutter with my gutter friends and my gutter feelings being all guttery. But I'm a diamond in the rough, a one in a million, a true original, one of a kind. I can show you things and take you places you've never seen, even things you never knew you needed. I can enlighten, stimulate, bring to orgasm, make laugh, make cry, make fun. I can tickle you and hold you and kiss you on your neck. I can teach you and learn from you and grow with you. All I need is for someone to pick me up out of the gutter, clean me off, and see that I am something of value, someone who matters. Thank you. Thank you. This next piece is titled Delicious, and it comes from the prompt from Beth Ann Fennelly's Tender Hooks. Once I was delicious. Once I had so few years behind me that my path seemed straight and clear, and that clarity gave me strength of purpose. Now, enough years have passed behind me so that the once straight, clear path has become the twisting road of compromise into adulthood. Adulthood. What a strange concept. I stare into the bathroom mirror and question the image of the person staring back, pierce deeply into his eyes to see all the things he's seen, to understand it so I can know how he came to be. How did you get here? I asked the eyes. What made you become you? I heard a hawk cry out as I stepped out of my car, and I looked up to see two young red-tailed hawks circling above my head. Their wings stretched across the blue skies and drops of golden light beaming from their feather tips. It used to be that simple, to hear a cry, look up, and know that God was saying hello. The signs and indicators were all around me, lighting the way, making it all seem purposeful, meaningful, magical. When did I begin to sell myself off? Holding a garage sale on the lawn of my life, selling off the mementos of innocence, the curios of wonder, the oddities of child laughter, the bric-a-brac, souvenirs, odds and ends, all the things I thought were me, that made me me. I think of those eyes in the mirror, and I don't trust them. They are the eyes of someone who hides and deceives. I am fixated on the desire to make love to a woman, to kiss a woman's lips and neck and feel my hands on her hips as I pull myself closer into her embrace. Being desired by a woman made me feel delicious, but it has been so long I believe I have become moldy, or at the very least stale. Adulthood. What a strange, misleading concept. We lie to our children. We lie to them when we tell them about growing up and becoming adults. We tell them about serious things like responsibility and duty and integrity. We sell it to our children like a crack whore sells the offer of a blowjob for $20. We cram it into their minds and hope they'll swallow. I swallowed it. I got down on my knees on the dirty pavement and grasped it all with both my hands and shoved it into my mouth and worked it until all it was a mess dripping down my chin. I'm not an adult. I'm a crack whore giving blowjobs for $20 a pop. That's what adulthood is. That's what we don't dare tell the children. That life is about endless compromise and surrender. That sometimes we find ourselves sucking cock to get by, to get through another day, until you look in the mirror and the image of clear-eyed youth is no more, and the image of a strange adult is all there is. But I swear, I used to be delicious. This next piece is entitled Worlds, and it comes from the work of Alison Luterman. I came back to my greedy country where I want sinks constantly, like the sea. And like the sea, it shines, it glints, it moves. It moves down wide, neon-lit boulevards with baby gaps, crate and barrels, Victoria's Secrets. Large, clear windows spill out invitations for conspicuous consumption and economic release, like a shuddering orgasm spilled on the heaps of garbage that pile up in the alleyways. Quickie encounters between consumers consuming one another. It is a ceaseless feeding frenzy of fast food drive-thrus, throwaway coffee cups, wrapping and packaging and filler. It is like standing on the overpass above a freeway and seeing the endless line of headlights stretching like a giant serpent, winding its way through the never-ending landscape of steel and concrete. It is watching this and knowing that it's not going to go away. It's not going to transform into some field of wildflowers and butterflies. I ponder the unforeseen consequences of this voracious appetite, as everything I touch seems like one more disposable throwaway that I cannot avoid. What did the Maya see at the end of their world? What did the Aztecs think as Spanish steel cut them down in droves? What did the Indians feel as smallpox broke out on their bodies? What does it look like when things are about to fall apart and the world is about to end? I am as greedy as my countrymen, I think to myself, as I sip my Coca-Cola, eat my Big Mac, and click the place order button on another Amazon.com order for things I will never really need. that will never really satisfy this overwhelming appetite to have. And then I think of a field of wildflowers and butterflies and freeways quiet as graveyards and worlds ending. Thank you. This last piece is entitled Honor Among Thieves, and the prompt comes from Dorian Lau's The Book of Men. Steal something small, something worthless every once in a while. Slip it into your pocket, whether a candy bar from a convenience store or that bottle of A1 sauce off the restaurant table. Slip it into your pocket and glide out the door knowing you've won a victory for the little guy. And why shouldn't you steal? They steal from you and me endlessly and relentlessly. They steal our time and lines and procedures and meaningless bullshit meant to keep the machinery running. They steal our money to bail out greedy, bloated banks and to build bombs that kill and maim and create terror. They steal my sense of self as they wage an endless war to define me and then confine me to that definition. They steal from me my joy when they parade in front of me all the things they say I should be, but am not. They steal my freedom. They steal my land. They steal my health with their toxic pollution and tireless belief in better living through chemistry. They steal more than I will ever really know, more than I will ever really have a chance to own or understand. So go ahead. Steal a little something and tuck it away and grin knowingly in the knowledge that honor among thieves is just the bullshit a thief tells you while he takes the last breath from your lips.